Can you really get better at something by seemingly less effort? Well, the short answer is yes and no. Today we'll see how really hard work doesn't have to be something which is overly strenuous, something which kills you, something which destroys you all the time. In fact, it's actually optimal that it isn't. And the great thing about this is that it really applies across so many areas, so many skills, so many attributes, so many qualities that you might be trying to develop. I'm a long distance runner, and in my younger days, I really felt that every run I did had to be absolutely flat out, like a race. And the problem with this is that while of course you are doing some very high quality running, every run you do is just putting your body through so much strain. So you need more time to recover, you can't do as much volume, you're also putting more stress on yourself, so it's easier to get injured. And what's more, it just means that every run you do, even if you love running, there's always that bit of fear, that bit of dread. You know you're going to be putting your body through extreme strain again. It was only as I got older, I got more patient, more mature, I began studying the science of running, training, of running, that I found out that what the science says, and this is what all experienced runners do, professional runners, elite runners, is that the majority of your running should be at a relatively easy pace, a relatively slow pace, a pace you could easily talk at. And the reason for this is that to get better at running, one of the things you need to do is adapt your body more to running. Adapt your heart, adapt your lungs, and adapt the muscles in your legs. And this adaptation comes as a function of the time you spend running, not of speed, not of how fast you're running. So that means that to get better at running, you need to run more. In order to do this, it's better to run slower because you can do more without getting overly tired, without damaging your body. Of course, to get better and better, some of your running does have to be fast. You have to do what's called VO2 max training to stress your maximum heart rate. You have to do what's called lactate threshold running to stress your lactate threshold, which is the maximum speed you can run at without accumulating lactate acid. But again, these are a very, very small volume of the overall training you do. As long distance runners, it's very easy to fall into the trap of doing most of our running too quickly. And it's only really been over the last few years, as I've actually been away from racing, I've just been doing running for pleasure, for health, that I began to appreciate just how much slow running can help you. And as I'm going back into racing now, I'm finding I'm now able to do a much greater volume of running, and that's really helping me overall. And the great thing that's come from this is that really no longer is every run I do something I dread, something I'm a bit fearful for, because the majority of it is at a relaxing and easy pace. So I know I'm doing training which is really beneficial for me, but it's still a time to relax, a time to think about my life, a time to reflect. And so what we can take away from this that really goes beyond running to so many more things is that in order to work harder, to get better at something, it will often be that it's not just about strenuous hard work, it's about spending time with the activity, spending time with the skill, really making it a part of your life, making it something you love, making it something you appreciate, making it something you do every day. And this idea does come up in so many places. You know, I'm a second language teacher, second language learner, and in learning a new language, whereas some rigorous academic study will help, will be important, again, what's shown by research is that really the best way is to expose yourself to as much of the language as possible, expose yourself to comprehensible input of the language. That's language you can listen to, hear, understand. So it's really the time you spend with the language without it being overly strenuous, without it killing you, the time you spend with the language, being surrounded by it, understanding it, hearing it, beginning to practice using it. That's what will really, really help your development in the long term. Then I'm a teacher, I teach young children reading and writing. So for reading, again, whereas more rigorous phonics reading instruction is important, just as much so is spending time being surrounded by written words, written letters, so you can get more and more familiar with them, being surrounded by books. Then for writing as well, again, whereas rigorous writing instruction, rigorous writing practice is important, just as much so is the time you spend practicing using your hands for arts work, other activities, developing your fine motor skills. That's what will also really help you in the long term. And again, that will be more fun, more relaxed without being overly strenuous. Really, with any sport, with any physical activity, with any physical skill, anything requiring your muscles, your dexterity, really you do need to spend time just adapting your muscles, adapting the parts of your body to that, which again requires time and perhaps for you not to necessarily overly stress yourself. Then beyond that, I'm a teacher with teaching, whereas you can study rigorously how to be a better teacher. Much of it comes from just experience in the classroom, knowing how to explain things, knowing how to deal with different situations. So again, just by doing it, enjoying it, making it part of your life, not overdoing it, but spending the time, that really is what helps. And this likely applies to many other careers, many other professions, the skills required there also. And it even comes up in, I guess, social skills, how to interact with other people, interact with other human beings. You know, it's not just about throwing yourself in there and burning yourself out in relationships with others. It's about spending many weeks, many months, many years as you grow up, developing your social skills, developing your ability to interact well with other people. So if that's something you still want to develop, which we all should be, it's something to just remember, it's the time you spend at it. And even with one-to-one relationships, so I guess with close friends and especially romantically, it's not just about throwing yourselves right in there, overwhelming each other with lots of strenuous, over-the-top effort. It's really about that time, that slow, steady progress you spend getting to know each other, interacting with each other. That's what can help you in the long term. And, you know, I'm far from an expert in every skill, every hobby, every sport, every profession, every attribute a person might be wanting to develop. But really, it does seem that this idea comes up in so many places. So, my friends, if for your hobby, for your skill, have a think. Do you need to be going all in, working very, very strenuously and really wearing yourself out all the time? Or is it a lot more about just making it even more part of your life, enjoying having it part of your life, spending that time on it, even if you do need the strenuous work alongside? And equally, if you've got a new hobby, a new skill, a new idea you want to bring into your life, but it seems overwhelming, just take a step back and think, does it have to be all over the top? Does it have to be all really strenuous work? Or can you start and then continue to be just slow, steady, have it a normal part of your life? All the best, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.